Good afternoon. I'm Cadet Tui, and today we're going to talk about canceling BRC at VMI. Now, do you feel like you're getting enough sleep at VMI? I already know the answer to that. No. Now, upper class cadets get an average of 6.5 hours of sleep every night at VMI because TAPS is at 23:30 and BRC is at 0700, an hour before the first class starts. Now, with homework and other activities, it is very difficult for cadets to get an ample amount of sleep. So what are the effects of not getting enough sleep? Well, the Sleep Foundation says that an 18 to 20-year-old, which is our age group, should be getting 8 hours of sleep a night, which is an hour and a half more than what we're getting at VMI. Now, sleep can negatively affect physical training. It lowers your performance, whether it be on the athletic field or the weight room, and it hurts recovery. So once you work out, you're not going to recover as well and become stronger or faster. Sleep also makes information retention very difficult. Now, we have the problem at VMI of cadets falling asleep in class, which obviously no information retention, but even if you are awake in class, you're not retaining the information very well, which can negatively affect your academics and your military skill you have to learn at VMI, whether it be through VMI itself or your ROTC programs. Now, VMI prides itself on what it calls the three-legged stool, 3 parts of cadet life that are very, very important to VMI and the character of it. Number 1 is academics. Like we just discussed, academics can be very negatively affected by a lack of sleep. The second is athletics. We also know that athletics can be heavily impacted by not having enough sleep in performance. And third is military life. Now, military life was a little more complicated, but it also involves information retention. If you're in an ROTC program, you know that there's knowledge you have to learn for ROTC classes and tactics and procedures, things of that nature. And also for RATs, obviously, learning basic VMI things, how to make a uniform, memorizing RAT Bible knowledge, all those things. And if you notice, all 3 legs of the stool are negatively affected by a lack of sleep. Academics, athletics, military life. A lack of sleep is a detriment to all parts of what VMI defines as its Spartan lifestyle. Now, let's just talk about, under the current situation at VMI, how can one get more sleep? How can they use the system to their advantage to get more sleep? Well, there's a couple different ways. The first is sleeping in between classes. Now, sleeping in between classes can be effective to a certain extent, but it is really not effective in getting a good amount of good sleep. In the morning, we have to have our haze up before BRC, which means that even if somebody doesn't have an 8 a.m. class, after BRC they come back and they can't sleep in their hay. That leads people to either not sleep or sleep on their desks or on the floor. Now, for those of you that have done that, I know I sleep on the floor very often. The sleep that you get while on the floor is not quality sleep. You're not hitting your REM cycle, which is really important for information retention. And you're not in that first phase of sleep either because you're kind of half awake. So you're not getting good recovery in your body either. Also, sleeping on the floor is very hard on your body. So that negatively affects athletic performance. So sleeping in between classes is really not effective. Some people may sleep after they can put their head down at noon. But by that time, most cadets are awake and have been to multiple classes, and it's really time for them to wake up and get along with their day. The second way that VMI claims it gives you extra sleep is through optional BRCs or SRCs. Now, optional BRCs come from doing different cadet activities like cadet government or cadre, rank, things of that nature. Now, the problem with this is the average VMI day from 4 to 6 is where a lot of those activities take place. So if a cadet wants to do cadre, homework, and exercise, cadre is taking up 2 hours of time, which means that those 2 hours are being taken out of homework and exercise time. So to make up for that, cadets are actually going to lose about an hour of sleep because that hour they're gaining is being disposed by the 2 hours that they're getting to earn that optional BRC. So it's actually quite counterintuitive to use those optional BRCs to actually get more sleep. It may feel good, might be nice to sleep in later, but you're really not gaining more time sleeping. Now this leads me to my main point. VMI should get rid of BRC, breakfast roll call. All the military academies do not have BRC. They have formation at lunch so that cadets can sleep if they don't have a morning class. VMI has offered other ways for you to sleep more, but it seems that all of those other ways are ineffective as a whole. And VMI needs to modernize. I mean, in the modern military, you often don't have a morning formation. You have a muster, and then you're done, and you go along your duty day. VMI needs to modernize and understand the needs of cadets. See, back in the day, they had BRC, but also academics wasn't as rigorous as they are now. You can ask any alumni, they would say, man, I don't know if I would graduate with the academics you guys are doing now. So cadets are up later than they've ever been with the rigors of academics. And because of that, BRC is outdated. Cadets need to sleep more so they become more effective in the classroom and athletics and in military skill. Thank you.